I accidentally cut myself off, so I'm going to have to piece these videos together later before I just upload them. Hopefully I didn't miss the end of the sentence, but I was just in the middle of describing the differences between adverbs and adjectives. So adjectives describe nouns, but adverbs describe the other parts of speech, basically. Okay, so the sentence starts with the word then. Then was part of our list. So it's talking about a period of time. So we're going to write the word adverb above then. I used a comma after it because it's kind of like introducing the rest of the sentence. So then, comma, the rest of the stuff. Now this right here ends up being what's called a prepositional phrase. So it's telling you the location of the area. So this person in the sentence is, the preposition is from. The is an article, and hen house is the noun where she came from. So it's a thing. It's a person, place, or thing. So then, from the hen house, so that's a prepositional phrase right here. I'm going to kind of underline it a little bit. That's why they had another comma after it, because it's a prepositional phrase. Jane came running to her mother shouting. Okay. So Jane is the first clear subject of the sentence. So we're going to put Jane down here. Jane. So it's capitalized. That means it's a proper noun. It's not just a noun, it's a proper noun, and it's capitalized. It's somebody's special name. Jane came, which is a verb. Also, what is doing the verb is going to be the subject of the sentence, right? So Jane came. I'm doing that because there are more in the sentence. Okay, so then from the hen house, Jane came running. Okay, in my head, normally I would think of running as being a verb, right? But really, it's describing how she came. So it is a word that is describing this verb. So the verb came directly after Jane. Jane came. But the way she came, it described how she came. She came running. So this is going to be an adverb because it described how she came. To her mother. That's another prepositional phrase. To her mother, shouting. We'll just put it all together. So to is another preposition. Her. It's replacing the name Jane. And so instead of saying Jane came running to Jane's mother, we didn't want to do all that. So that is a word that replaces a noun. So that is a pronoun. Mother. It's not capitalized because it's not saying to mother. It's not naming her mother. It's just saying it is her mother. So that is a noun because that is a person. Adverb. Preposition, pronoun, noun. Shouting. So shouting is another verb. Okay, Jane came running to her mother shouting. I know how an egg comes out. So that starts our quote. I is a pronoun because it replaces Jane. So instead of saying Jane knows, she replaced her name with I. So it's a pronoun. Then know is a verb. It's an action. So she is knowing. So I'm going to put these down here. So I know. How. How is another verb, adverb, because it's helping describe know. So she knows what? She knows how. An is another article. Egg is a thing, so it's a noun. Comes is a verb. And then out. describes how the egg comes. So it's an adverb. And so egg comes. There we go. Oops, sorry, I just realized you couldn't see the bottom. So we've got everything that we need in this sentence. So because I've got another second or two, I'm just going to point out, guys, because some of you are still trying to figure out point of view. So this sentence is actually written in third person point of view, not first person. So when it starts, it says, from the hen house, Jane came running to her mother. So it says her name and her. So it is not being told from the perspective of Jane. Now later it does say I, but that's because it's describing Jane saying something. So we can't use what's inside the quotation marks to determine our point of view. We need to determine what's out of them, so what's in the narration. So we need to figure out who's the narrator. Is the narrator the main character, or is the narrator somebody else outside of the story? All right, so have a great week.